Hello, this is activistvictor here with milestone video number, I think it's 4. How fitting, right? 4, because I'm doing my 4-leaf clover collection. Over here we have my extensive collection of 4-leaf clovers. Winding around back. Let's get a center shot. I have about 90, maybe a little bit more than that. Not sure the exact number. I don't feel like counting them right now. Took about an hour to set this up. Over here we have 5-leaf clovers. I think 20 of them is what I counted. Here we have a couple 6-leaf clovers. Obviously rarer than the 5-leaf clovers, and 5-leaf clovers are rarer than the 4-leaf. And then here's an interesting variety called 3.5-leaf clovers. You may be wondering why this one is a 3.5-leaf when it looks like 4. I'll show you in a minute. Right now, I'm going to have to end the take and change the focus just to get all this stuff in view. Alright, first, let's show you the interesting variant known as the 3.5-leaf clover. You may wonder why this is 3.5-leaf. Well, this is an interesting variety. If we look closely at the stem, notice that the leaf starts, then the thing splits into 2 separate leaves. So technically this isn't a 4-leaf clover, is it? It's actually just a 3-leaf clover that has very weirdly shaped leaves. I mean, look, the bottom of the stem actually forms the base of one leaf, and then for whatever reason it splits together. There's 2 different veins leading up. Very close to being a 4-leaf clover, but not quite. Here's, I think, another example. This one's less pronounced, obviously, but we can see this little V-shaped fold here. It's dark. This is where I think there was like a raised notch in the leaf itself. Typically, that's like the hallmark of these 3.5-leaf clovers. They have this V-shaped notch where the leaf is about to break, but it doesn't break. It's so hard to preserve it. Here's another one. Like that little weirdness in the center. That it kind of splits into 2 veins around this little center dark area. Oh man, it is so hard to see. Okay, now on to the classics. I'm not going to show all these for obvious reasons. There's my biggest one. I think here comes my most recent one, and probably the one that looks the most like an actual 4-leaf clover in terms of color. A lot of these ones I didn't press properly, and they dried up and like half died, leaving ugly colorations like this. Yeah, that totally looks cool, doesn't it? Oh well. There's actually 2 different varieties of 4-leaf clover now that I'm on the topic. This is called a true 4-leaf clover because all the leaves, are the same size. This is what we typically associate with the 4-leaf clover. But that's not. I think those are actually less common than the non-true variety. Find a good example of it, like this one. This is still a 4-leaf clover. I'll get the stem, but obviously the bottom leaf is way smaller than the other ones. That's not a true 4-leaf clover. It's still a 4-leaf clover nonetheless, and it still should be lucky, but it's not a true one. So, go figure. Now for the 5-leaf clovers. If you can see that, there's 2 leaves over here, and then there's another leaf down there, and then there's 2 somewhat overlapping leaves. That's the thing about these 5-leaf and up clovers. They're so freaking hard to actually get in the right orientation to make all the leaves easily visible. There's just not enough space. So, what do you do? There's not much you can do about that. Here's another one. There's 1 leaf up here which I'm going to hold and cover just to hold the clover. And then there's clearly 4 leaves. There's a bunch of them overlap, but you can see from the shadows and the heart shape of the leaves that they're there. And here's another one. There. there's obviously 2 leaves here, and then there's like 1 here and 1 here, and you can just barely see through the shading that there's 1 behind it. I'll flip it over. Now it'll be on top. Or will it not? Yeah, you can see it better here through the like little crack. There's another leaf. Now on to the 6-leaf clovers, of which I actually only have 2 because I think I've only ever found 2, maybe 3 if I was lucky. I'm holding 1 leaf in my hand, so remember that. There's 2 here and then 3 on the bottom. You can just sort of see through the shading. There's a leaf here, there's a leaf here, and then there's one that's behind them. I'll flip it over so it's on top. And then here's a smaller one. This is probably actually a little bit easier to see. You can see that there's like 2 leaves up here. There's a eaten up leaf here. And I just fucking broke it. That blows. Oh well. And it's destroyed. But yeah, you can see that's a 6-leaf clover, or was a 6-leaf clover. If you'll excuse me, I'm going to gently throw this in my collection bag so that it does not suffer the same fate. So I guess that's about it. I'll show it one more time. And yeah, some of these might be hard to tell that they're 4 leaves, but, you know, just why would I put a bunch of real ones and put a couple fake, like, non-4 leaves in there? What would that accomplish? And this is a broken 3.5 leaf. That's the problem. These things are so hard to keep intact. Anyways, this is me signing off. Glad to have actually made this. See you later.